Week 14 of the fantasy basketball season. And here's a few forwards I look to sell and trade this week. The first guy, Harrison Barnes of the Sacramento Kings. So Harrison Barnes, he's been a solid king over the last few seasons. Over the last few weeks here, he's definitely bumped those numbers up. And he's a perfect sell-high candidate on the season. 15.2 points a game, 5 rebounds, 1.7 assists, 1.6 threes, and 48% from the field. But the last couple weeks here, he's a guy that can't miss right now for this King team. 23 points a game, 3.7 rebounds, 1.4 assists, 3.6 threes, which he's shooting way over his head and on a crazy hot streak, and 58% from the field here for Harrison Barnes. So he's putting up the big games. We know he's one of the top options on this team behind De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis. And the last few games here for Barnes, January 11th versus Houston, 16 points, 2 rebounds, a steal, 3 threes, 50% from the field. January 13th versus the Rockets, 27 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, 5 threes, 57% from the field. And January 15th at the Spurs, he couldn't miss, it seemed like, in that one. 29 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, a block, 4 threes, and 72% from the field. So right now, playing great basketball. He's not missing, shooting 58% over the last few weeks. And the 3 ball's really been a great catalyst for Harrison Barnes. And we know throughout his career, he's not really a great 3-ball shooter. So right now, while everything's going right for him, and I think you could flip him as a sell-high candidate, this will be the time to do it. Because if he goes back to his regular numbers, once again, Barnes, he's not really going to be a guy that could get fetch much in a deal for. The next guy's Kawhi Leonard of Los Angeles Clippers. So Kawhi Leonard, we know he's a great player. We know he's a great talent. But the thing with him has been health over the last few years here. And a guy that really can't play back-to-backs or even play 3 out of 5 ball games in a week. So on the season for Leonard, 19 a game, 6.2 rebounds, 3.9 assists, 1.1 steals, 1.2 threes a game, and 48% from the field. But the last couple weeks here, he's really gotten it going, especially with Paul George banged up and missing ball games. 24.4 points a game, 6.6 rebounds, 3.6 assists, 2 steals a game, 1.6 threes, and 48% from the field. So Kawhi Leonard, we know his elite days are behind him, and also a guy who's not going to play 70 games a season anymore. So right now, well, he's actually played the last 4 games in a row is Kawhi Leonard at high minutes, over 35 minutes a game. This will be a time to go out there and sell him high, because I don't think he's going to last. We know he missed all last season with the knee injury. And right now, I don't think he's still 100%, even though he's putting up numbers. Is Leonard January 10th versus Dallas, 33 points, 9 boards, 4 assists, 4 steals, a block, 3 threes, 75% from the field. January 13th versus Denver, 24 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, 50% from the field. And January 15th versus the Rockets, 30 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, a block, 3 threes, 50% from the field. So right now, Leonard playing great basketball, and he's a perfect sell-high candidate, because he's not a guy right now I could trust playing or even making it to the majority of the season here for fantasy owners. And the third and final guy I look to sell in trades, LeBron James of Los Angeles Lakers. So right now, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sell him off just for anything. It's got to be a monster deal for LeBron James. And he's another guy up there in age, but obviously this guy's a special talent throughout his career, and age hasn't been a factor for him, and he's not slowing down on the season. 29.7 points a game, 8.4 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, 2 threes a game, and 51% from the field. So LeBron putting up great numbers, no doubt about it. Anthony Davis has been out of the lineup as well. That's definitely helping his numbers. But right now, we know LeBron, he's out there at the 38-year-old age. A little injury could definitely be a factor for him, and we saw it over the last couple seasons where an injury has put him out for an extended period of time, and obviously then he has no fantasy value at that point. In the last couple weeks, 33.8 points a game, 9.4 rebounds, 9 assists, 1.6 threes, and 51% from the field. So he's almost averaging a triple-double over the last 2 weeks. Here's LeBron. And now coming off that 48-point game in yesterday's game versus the Rockets, it's a perfect time to put him on your trade block and see if you could get 2 or 3 players in a deal for LeBron. January 12th versus Dallas, 24 points, 16 boards, 9 assists, 2 steals, 32% from the field. January 15th versus Philly, 35 points, 8 boards, 10 assists, a steal, a block, a 3, 65% from the field. Then January 16th, the monster game versus the Rockets, 48 points, 8 boards, 9 assists, 5 threes, 61% from the field. So right now, LeBron's playing great basketball, no doubt about it. But he's another guy, just like Leonard. We don't know. He's going to play back-to-backs, most likely not. even 3 out of 5 games in a week, we don't know if he's going to play. And like I said, with Anthony Davis returning as well, some of the scoring is going to go down for LeBron. So right now, where he's been a man on a mission and playing out of his mind, this is a perfect time to sell him high and get a lot in a deal for him. So that's a few plays I look to sell and trade at the forward position for Week 14 of the fantasy basketball season.